I know it's sunset. Sun is set down. Hello, YouTube. Down here at the marina, just for a little bit. I'll be sitting up there a little bit. Yes, this is one of those what if videos. Yeah, about owning one of those boats. You didn't see the photo yet? I'll be posting the photo here in real quick. Yes, it is one of those what if I had owned get this, drum roll please. If I would have owned a Dutch barge. Let me explain this a little bit, and I'll show you a photo of what I meant by a Dutch barge. I know it's kind of breezy and all that stuff. I did bring a mic. I'll probably switch over to the mic in a little bit here, but I'm just going to talk straight out. Before we get to the Dutch barge, there was a history of a big houseboat that used to be here on the riverfront many years ago. It always sat dockside. I had never seen it move. It just looks like it was a dead barge, but it was a nice, big, oversized houseboat. It was like almost like, it was like 65, maybe 7 feet long, maybe about 20 feet wide. It was one of the biggest houseboats on the Mississippi River. I just never seen moved out of the marina here before the renovations took place, and it means they had to get it out of here. And that it was sold to somebody. Don't know if I don't know if it went upriver, downriver. All I know is if we would have had a photo of it, it would have been a sight to see. It was a huge houseboat. Unfortunately, like I said, I've never seen anybody in it and that, so it became an eyesore. All right, right now I'm going to be popping up in the photo right now. It's going to be right up here. Is the Dutch barge. What is a Dutch barge? Well, it's like I said, looks like a miniature version of a sailing ship. I mean, a small sailing ship, very small sailing ship. It only does the rivers of Holland and all that stuff. Germany has their versions of it. England probably has their versions of it, and I think another country has I think France has their versions of it. Looks like the German ones had the better ones. But the reason you want to go with the Dutch barge, because of the Dutch heritage we have in the area, which is right across the river in Fulton, Illinois. As you know, we did film the Dutch windmill over there. It is a Dutch community. And my mom has a Dutch heritage on her side of her family. My dad has a German side heritage on his family. So mix the two together, you got me, I think. I don't know. Right now, what happens if we were to own one, and what we would do with a Dutch barge? It's hard to believe you could turn those things into a houseboat, an amazing one. I've seen some on YouTube already. They're just amazing. Like I said, the Dutch barge, when you convert a Dutch barge, you're taking the hull of the shipping hull of the barge itself, and you're converting it into living quarters. Where you can create a full galley, you can create a couple bedrooms, showers, and a little living quarters, and possibly enough room, maybe a little party deck up on top or down below, with the pilot house, which has the capabilities to go up and down, and it'll be low enough that you can go underneath some of the drawbridges here in town, or any other low bridges on navigable waters, or something like that. Technically in a way. So, but if we were to own one, where would we dock it? That's be $1 million question. If we own one, how are we going to pay for one? Well, remember I said, dreaming of winning the lottery? That's what I'm talking about. You got to win the lottery in that. Would I invest in one? Well, I don't know. I don't have the money. Hey, doesn't hurt to dream. You see it or not, but there's that pier here. That would be a good place to dock the pier, but I have one problem with if I were to own that kind of a boat and want to dock it here, I would have a problem, because you know why? I would have to tie up to those big, tall piers. You've probably seen it during the daylight hours, as we're in the sunset. I would have to wrap it up around those big piers. I only got one on that side, but there's none on this side. If they had one or two on this side, it would have been an easy fix. But those little moorings that they have there, that was not going to be good enough to tie up a Dutch barge. Well, like I said, if if you can't, whoa, that's lightning up north of us. We got rain in the area, so I gotta make this video short. I didn't want to be out in this weather. And that. Okay, what I mean, the dock. Why can't I dock? Why can't I just dock it here? It meets your needs. Well, yes and no. Yes, it does offer what we need to dock a Dutch barge. But what we don't have is a private walkway. So you almost have to make this a private dock. And this is a city front. It's a public park. So the only way I have parking is over there, unless I own a piece of land upriver, or across the way over there, or downriver to dock the thing, and that. So, so this would be out of the question, unless you work some kind of agreement with the city, which I doubt, anyway. But that would be a good way to tie up your Dutch barge, and that. All right. We got a little side note here, and I'll get more details. Like I said, a little side note here. I'm filming this on a Monday night. It's very rare that I see the lights of the showboat lit up. Cool, isn't it? I just had to get this shot in right here, the lighthouse lit up at night. See, that's how awesome that is at night, how that's lit up and that. So I thought I better get that in. Okay, right now let's talk about the details real quick and we'll wrap up this video. Okay, the details is a lot of issues when it comes to when you want to buy what they call a decommissioned Dutch barge. And what it is, a Dutch barge is just like I showed you in that photo. It has two huge anchors up at the bow, and also has an anchor at the stern, and that's where the propellers and that. It does offer bow thrusters, which is be great. Just converting one to a houseboat is a pain task, and all that stuff. And I've seen some that's converted to great living quarters, and just get them accustomed just to your personal needs and that. Under the pilot house, basically they converted that area into like another private area, even for the pilot. You can make that as the master bedroom for the pilot, which would be the owner of the boat. We'll have that one, and the guests will be up front, unless they decide to move the guests underneath the pilot house as a little private party area or something like that, plus have access to the engine and all that stuff. Then the rest would be like a galley, living quarters, then your shower, bathroom, and a couple of sleeping quarters, and maybe a small office to edit your videos and all that stuff, and maybe a little party deck on top. And they can retrofit it with solar panels, so you can live off-grid and all that stuff. And I've seen the German versions, you can actually hoist with a small crane. You can actually hoist a car from the river to dockside, to a dockside land. If you're close enough to the shoreline, you can actually haul your car on top of that. But that's the German boats. This is talking about the Dutch barges, which they don't have that feature, and that, which is unfortunate, but hey, that would be a cool feature too. Reason I didn't say the German barges is they're too long. That means they're outside the regulations and all that stuff. Reason is, in recent news, I saw recent news out of Kentucky, or was it Tennessee, they launched the biggest houseboat to date, the newest and the latest one. This one I talked about will put that one to shame. This one was over 120 feet long and 22 feet wide. That makes it the largest boat they can legally build for a houseboat here in the United States. And that, because anything bigger will become a commercial craft. Now, when you got a decommissioned Dutch barge, let's say floating up and down the river, first of all, would the Coast Guard approve it? And all these issues and all that stuff. And like I said, I'm surprised no one over the phone even owned one, or even attempted to own one. But if I would have won the lottery, let's say Powerball, Megabucks, whatever, I probably would have attempted to do something like that. But retrofitting a Dutch barge will be a very expensive task. Once you get it converted to your living space you want, well, then you gotta deal with the engine. The engine's gonna be a problem because they're European engines, and it's got a custom made to what they call to our fuel, our American style fuel, which is basically diesel, whatever, like barge diesel, whatever diesel fuel it needs, and that. So the engine's gotta be rebuilt. It has to be a whole new engine, a whole new propeller systems, and lubrications and all that stuff. So that'll be another pain right there, I would say. But like I said, the regulations, the boating regulations, you gotta work around. I think that's why you probably need a lawyer for that part too. But hey, like I said, it doesn't hurt to dream, and that. Would you ever see a Dutch barge floating up and down the Mississippi River? Hey, you never know. It's not out of the question, because hey, if I don't have the money, somebody up and down that lives on the Mississippi River thinks, hey, that's a good idea. Get their lawyer to look into it, look at the boating regulations and all that stuff. You never know. Maybe sometime down the line, we might see a Dutch barge floating on the Mississippi River sometime soon. You never know. It's not out of the question. It's all about getting through the regulations and the hurdles and all that stuff. But when they dock it, that is a local issue with the city, the marinas, and all that stuff. Right now, I gotta get going home. There's storms coming, and I want to make sure I get home relatively before the storms hit. I gotta keep you guys dry. And the reason I came out is because, hey, it's cooler right now, but as you see in the distance, I don't know if you can see it in the distance or not. I'll aim it this way, but we do have lightning in the area. Yeah, you can see that. We do have lightning in the area, but it looks like it's missing us to the north and northeast, which is good. Right now, let's go ahead and wrap up this nice little what if video with a please like, share, subscribe, don't get subscribed on the notification bell. We'll talk more about this later. Hey, like I said, you never know. You might see someone else will come up with that idea. Hey, I pitched the idea out there. If you guys know how to get around the regulations, I sure don't. Maybe we'll see a floating Dutch barge up here soon. But yeah, you can convert those things from shipping items to a nice, good size houseboat, and they can go underneath most of the low bridges around here if you get low, if the river's low enough. All right, now we get out of here. We'll see you guys tomorrow.